United States dime, a ubiquitous coin in American pockets and wallets, has a rich history that spans over 2 centuries. From its humble beginnings to its modern-day form, the dime has undergone numerous changes, reflecting shifts in American society, politics, and economics. Join us on a journey through time as we explore the fascinating evolution of the United States dime. The history of the United States dime begins in 1792, when the Coinage Act authorized the production of various denominations of coins, including the dime. The first dimes were struck in 1796 and featured a design known as the draped bust, created by renowned engraver Robert Scott. These early dimes were made of 89.24% silver and 10.76% copper and had a diameter of 19 mm. Over the next few decades, the design of the dime underwent several revisions. In 1809, the capped bust design, also by Robert Scott, replaced the draped bust design. This new design featured Lady Liberty wearing a cap adorned with stars. The capped bust dime remained in circulation until 1837, when it was replaced by the seated Liberty design, which was created by Christian Gobrecht. The seated Liberty dime featured a depiction of Lady Liberty seated on a rock, holding a shield and a staff with a liberty cap. This design was used on the dime until 1891, when it was replaced by the Barber dime. The Barber dime, named after its designer Charles E. Barber, was introduced in 1892. It featured a portrait of Liberty wearing a crown of laurel leaves on the obverse and the words "1 dime" engraved on the reverse. The Barber dime was minted until 1916 and was the last dime to be struck in the traditional 90% silver composition. The early 20th century saw significant changes in the design and composition of the dime. In 1916, the United States Mint introduced the Mercury dime, designed by Adolph A. Weinman. Contrary to popular belief, the figure on the obverse of the coin is not the Roman god Mercury, but rather a representation of Liberty wearing a winged cap, symbolizing freedom of thought. The Mercury dime was minted in 90% silver and 10% copper until 1945. During World War II, there was a shortage of copper, leading to a change in the composition of the dime. From 1946 onwards, the dime was minted in a composition of 90% silver and 10% copper until 1964, when the United States Mint transitioned to a clad composition. In 1946, the United States Mint introduced the Roosevelt dime to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had passed away the previous year. The dime featured a portrait of Roosevelt on the obverse and an olive branch torch and oak branch on the reverse, symbolizing peace, liberty, and strength. The Roosevelt dime marked a significant shift in dime design, as it was the first dime to feature a portrait of a real person rather than a symbolic representation of liberty. The dime continued to be minted in a composition of 90% silver and 10% copper until 1964, after which it was minted in a clad composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel. Since its introduction, the Roosevelt dime has undergone few design changes, with minor modifications to the portrait of Roosevelt and the design of the reverse. However, it remains an essential part of everyday commerce in the United States, symbolizing the enduring legacy of President Roosevelt and the values he stood for. The history of the United States dime is a testament to the evolution of American society, politics, and economics. From its origins in the late 18th century to its modern-day form, the dime has undergone numerous changes, reflecting the shifting priorities and values of the American people. Despite these changes, the dime remains a ubiquitous symbol of American currency and identity, a small yet powerful reminder of the nation's rich history and enduring spirit. As we continue to move forward into the future, the United States dime will undoubtedly remain a cherished artifact, connecting us to our past and guiding us towards a brighter tomorrow.